the rescue bait, so that's good news.
Sadly, the strong start from the Ecuadorians didn't hold on for a medal, but strong position in 4th place there.
K2 women 200 meters final, and this could be open. There's a lot of names that, well, I suppose lane number 1, the confident Germans, Francesca Weber and Tina Dietze, who were the world champions a couple of years ago, I see, when they were just not messing around, but they were trying other things. It's going to be interesting to see. We have a lot of new names. There's the girls we've been talking about in the picture yesterday. They clearly won. They were saying last year, saying, why did it all go wrong? And they're just saying, well, we tried our hardest, but it just wasn't clicking, and now everything's working back again.
It seems that the women's K4, the German women's K4, just split up into 2 K2s for this race, so it'll be great to see Francesca Weber, Dina Dietze, Sabine Vols, and Connie Vasmuth, K4 winners just about an hour ago.
Perhaps not the household names we expect in Hungary. I believe they're having major internal trials next weekend, and that's obviously their major push for this season.
Yeah, it seems to me that the Hungarian team has been either a younger team or development team or a different group of athletes than we're used to seeing, but still very high caliber athletes, as well as Poland.
Exactly. The normal 5 or 6 top athletes went for the first 2 World Cups and not perhaps competing in this one.
But it's great to see that these countries are still fielding entries to keep the caliber of the regatta up, because sometimes the 3rd World Cup is too much of a strain for the athletes, but it's great that they send another team.
And as you mentioned, we've seen these in action before. It's Sabine Vols and Connie Vasmuth.
Yeah, really fast paddlers. We expect Sabine's stroke rate to be up a little bit more than it was in the K4. We mentioned that the K4 stroke rate from Germany tends to be a little bit lower, but Sabine is uncharacteristically German, that she gets to be able to take her stroke rate up very, very high when it comes to the 200.
And 2 Chinese. Again, they're mixing and matching. We don't have that many references, but they brought 28 athletes to Montemor. They had a smaller team last week in Duisburg, and now they've upped their numbers again. So it's a major tour for the Chinese.
We had eight Chinese women in the K4 500-meter final, so I'm not sure which ones came out of the K4 and into the K2, but certainly a lot of strong athletes coming from China right now.
And there's no start gates again, so...
Count on the fairness of the athletes.
Should be a sportswoman of the regatta award given out later on then. Good thing it's not so wavy today. It's a little bit difficult. In one of our 500-meter races, we had to line up in the waves, and that was tough, but women seem to be lined up.
Well, lane number 1 are I suppose, the pedigree established team. And they just look like they're having so much fun together. They say it's like we're back together, we're happy, and
they're good friends as well. Which
Tina's out of the army now, so she has more time. And Francesca's, I think she's year 6 now of a civil engineering degree.
Wow.
And it's nowhere near finishing, so she's quite relaxed about that.
Well, there's a lot of people spend 7 or 8 years in university. Some of them are called doctors, but others are called paddlers. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah. A little bit stressful. I'm stressed out. Are you stressed out, Jess? Watching them trying to get lined up?
Yeah, it's really
hard. The Polish
hard
crew and the Chinese crew seem to be far up ahead of the line.
To get 9 people to line up exactly in a line together is impossible.
Especially with like 5 or 6 different languages. You know, up, back, forwards. I don't know who the start is, but we've got his work cut out for them.
Well, Germany.
All right, there we go. Not sure if that was a frustrated start from the starter, but the 2 German crews.
They obviously have an understanding because they've taken the first lead. Sabine Vols and Connie Vasmuth in the bottom of pictures. You predicted they're off to a good start. We're looking at lane number 1.
Tina Dietze and Francesca Weber are out to a really, really strong lead in lane 1. But Connie Vasmuth and Sabine Vols is are holding on strong and now pushing through a little bit. And we see the Chinese crew in lane 8 of Young Li and Wang.
They're coming up the line. It's certainly going to be Germany first, very close to second position. Ooh, too close to call there.
Looks like Germany, China to me. Really, really hard to tell. And unfortunately, we've got a capsized Polish crew in the middle of the lane.
They both surfaced.
You see the really interesting paddle that Sabine uses, Sabine Vols in the front there, a very skinny, small-looking paddle. I think it's a Lettman or maybe an FES, but a different paddle than the rest of the crews. Hopefully they're okay. Sometimes falling in a 200-meter K2, I've fallen in a 200-meter K2, and it's like whiplash. You're going so fast, you hit the water before you even realize you're about to fall in, and you're able to see that in slow motion now.
Jess, we threw you into the hot street straight away. What are your thoughts about today's racing?
I'd say that the K1 men's 500 was impressive by René. I love watching the men's 500 races because they can just go so much harder than women. So if we can just copy them,
I don't know if we're going harder. We're going slightly faster. We're certainly not going harder. I'm impressed with your level of effort also, Jess.
And Adam, your thoughts on the weekend?
Oh, it's been great. I think the weather is agreeing with us today, which is fabulous. But awesome. You know, we haven't been to Copenhagen to race in a long time. I might be one of the only athletes that came in 2001.
Yeah,
So Germany have taken that Sabrina Wilson, Connie Wasmuth take the gold, Germany take the silver, and China take the bronze medal. So that wraps up the competitive part of the weekend. I hope you've had a lot of fun listening in. The next major event clearly is going to be the World Championships. The different continentals are going to, some of the Europeans are going to Baku.